every time I join your session or I am associated with IYM, I am simply blown away by the level of effort that you are putting into such initiatives that you're taking up for the students. And I appreciate the fact that it is totally impartial. It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not based on anything, be it any criterion we talk about. It is not based on anything. So it is highly appreciable, and the students who are getting benefited from this is amazing. The number of students is amazing.
Yeah,
I really appreciate, and I would
we want to grow
definitely want to
faster.
be associated.
In fact, we want to grow faster. We want to serve more students. So in the few years to come, we are well prepared for it in terms of teachers, in terms of finance, in terms of well wishers, everything. Only thing is we are looking forward to the students.
This is absolutely amazing, sir. Really.
No problem, madam. Yes. Carry on, madam.
Okay, okay. How many students are there in this one, sir?
I think about five. I think today.
Five men.
Five. No? Okay, okay, okay. See, today in the previous sessions, we discussed about two different subjects, chemistry and physics. I went for motion, laws of motion, and in chemistry, we did structure of atom and the atoms and molecules part. Today, we will be starting with biology part, which we did not touch the previous time. And in biology, obviously, we will begin with the very basic, that is the structure of a cell. See, we have cell, tissues, organs, organ systems, and organism. This is the structure of a living organism. The basic, the fundamental unit of a living organism is the cell. A cluster of cells specific or specified for a particular function, it is called a tissue. Multiple tissues available or which are performing a function for a particular area in an organism, in a body, we call it an organ, and all the organs together form an organ system. And when the organ system one after the other works, we the survival of an organism becomes possible. So this is the basic hierarchy, or we can say a flow chart for the structure of an organism. So to understand the biology of a living organism, when you go ahead with, like sir was talking about medical terms, medical fields, you need to start with the very basic, right? And the basic of biology is cell, the structure of a cell, what types of cells and how different they are, why they are different. The in the previous sessions also, I have mentioned something called go for a why. Every time you hear a statement or you read a statement or you read a chapter, every topic, every statement should be asking you a question, why. You should be asking your teacher, you should be asking your friends, why this. Always have a curiosity to understand, to just to never accept whatever is taught to you. Always question it in terms of curiosity, not in terms of doubt. There is a difference. Be curious about what is being taught to you. First thing, be curious about what you are reading through your textbooks, through your reference books, through online material that is available to you. Everything you read, everything you prepare, be curious about it. Don't be doubtful, be curious. That is the difference I'm talking about. All right. So, beginning with the structure of a cell, broadly, organisms are divided into two basic parts, plants and animals. And there is a third part, which is kind of a intermediate. We call them microorganisms. We are not going into the details of microorganisms. We are starting with plant and animals, right? Plant cells and animal cells. Plants are living organisms, so definitely they have cells. How are plant cells different from animal cells? That is a very important question. Why you think that plants will need a different set of cells, or animals will need a different kind of different set of cells. Why there is a difference? That is a very important question. I hope if I'm teaching class 9 or class 10 students, I hope you are very well aware of the basic structure of a cell. Right? There is a fundamental unit which we call a cell. There is an outer covering which we call cell membrane or plasma membrane. There is an inner central part which contains every information about the organism, which we call the nucleus. And
Nucleus.
there is, yes, and there is the central fluidic part which we call cytoplasm. And there are materials, there are organelles floating in the cytoplasm,
Mitochondria.
which we call as, yes, yes, Kamina, did you say anything here?
I was telling about the organelles, ma'am. Mitochondria.
Yes. There are organelles. Organelles are specific parts or specific regions where specific functions are performed in each and every cell. There are millions, billions of cells in a single living body. And each cell performs that function. Each organelle of the cell performs that function. Today, we will understand the different types of organelles that we have in our cells. In your syllabus, in your NCERT textbook, very limited information is given. We will stick to that definitely, but we will understand a little bit extra of all. Some organelles are different in plants and animals. Can anyone tell me which organelles are present only in plants and which are present only in animals?
Plants have the chloroplast
Okay.
and animals don't have it.
Okay. What are other only chloroplasts, or there is a specific name for that organelle?
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll is the pigment you are talking about here. I'm talking about a specific organelle which we call them as plastids.
Plastids, ma'am. Plastids.
Plastids. Correct. Plastids are divided into a few parts. One of them is chromoplast.
Chromoplast.
Nucleoplast and chromoplast. Chromoplast means chromo word always stands for color. When you talk about chromo, we always talk about colors or pigments, colored pigments. So chromoplast has a different part which we call as chloroplast. Chloroplast is something that contains a pigment, a fluid that we call chlorophyll, which is green in color, which helps in the process of photosynthesis. Simply photosynthesis, because photosynthesis takes place only in plants, plastids are available or are present only and only in plants, right? What about animals? Like I gave the reason that plastids are not needed in animals because they don't make their own food. Simple. What are the other organelles that are present only in plants and not in animals? Or not to be specific, organelles, any part of the cell. Excuse me. Do you know of cell wall?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you know that cell wall is only present in plants.
Plant.
Why so? Why so? Cell wall is present only in plant cells because cell wall provides a mechanical strength. Mechanical strength is needed to plants for sturdidity, for rigidity, because they have to stay tall and strong as they do not move. See the dead cells of plants. Which are the dead cells? The trunk part, the brown dried part of plants. Yeah, that is the dead cells. That is the structure of plants made up of dead cells. Those dead cells get their mechanical strength from the cell wall. Cell wall allows the plant to stand tall, stand straight. Now, that sturdidity or that strength is not needed in animals. Why? Because animals move, they have locomotion, they do not need to stay where they are. They actually require flexibility in their body, and that flexibility
Ma'am,
is
your voice
enough
is breaking,
available
ma'am.
with the presence of cell membrane. Give me a moment. All right. I hope it is clearer now. Is it? Am I audible properly? Am I properly audible, everyone?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Now you are audible, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Yes. So I was saying that the flexibility that animals require is available enough with the presence of the cell membrane. They do not need the cell wall. The third thing that is present in plants, it is also present in animals, but in a smaller size, which we call as vacuoles. Have you heard of them? Vacuoles, right? What is the
Yes,
function
ma'am.
of vacuole? Can anyone say the function of vacuoles? The function of
Ma'am,
vacuoles is
they
to
store
store.
essential substance like nutrients, ma'am.
The function is basically storage. Okay. So
Storage.
plant cells have larger, big-sized vacuoles. About 80 to 90% of the space in the plant cells is occupied by vacuoles. The reason, they have made their own food, which they will pass on to other organisms. They do not use it for themselves. What they use for themselves is very less in amount, less in quantity, but they make more food because they have to pass on. So that storage before they pass on requires more space. Animals, on the other side, do not store much food, right? They only store that much that is required for their biological processes. That is why vacuoles are in a smaller size in animal cells, while they are of bigger size in plant cells. So so you can understand that the structure or the type of cell that each of these plants and animals have depends on two three things. One is the movement, correct? Movement, because of movement the cells are different. The plants do not move, animals move, therefore the structure of their cell is different. Then second is growth, how they are growing. Plants need only the cells that grow upwards, that is the length, that is the height. They do not need growth in sides or in any other form of parts, right? While animals grow in all sides, so their cell structure is developed like that. And lastly, the structural organization of the plants and animals, how they are formed. Clear? Okay. Moving on with the nucleus part. Nucleus part. What is nucleus? What does it contain? Has anyone any idea?
It contains DNA, ma'am.
Only DNA or directly DNA?
All the information regarding the cell, ma'am.
What is the full form of DNA?
DNA test.
This is what I mean when I say ki know everything in detail. Know something you should know.
Deoxyribonucleic acid, ma'am. Now I could remember it. Some
Repeat it,
acid.
please.
Ma'am, deoxyribonucleic acid.
Deoxyribonucleic acid. It is basically a chemical. It is an acidic chemical that contains the information. That is, the structure of that chemical is different in each and every organism. If the species is different and if the organism is not made out of the parent, okay, that means in hierarchy the structure of DNA is same. Thank you. So in I was saying in hierarchy, that is in generations from one to another, the structure of DNA is same because the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, carries the information, carries the genes that are passed on from the parent to the offspring. Okay, this DNA are contained in chromosomes. What are chromosomes? Can anyone tell me what chromosomes are? What are chromosomes?
Ma'am, they are some thread-like structure, ma'am.
They are thread-like structures, correct? They are, I had the image, chalo, it's okay. They are thread-like structures that are actually a cluster
They
of.
carry the gene, ma'am.
Huh?
They carry gene, ma'am.
It is like a box in box in box. Understand that structure, okay? There is a box, nucleus, there is nucleolus, in which there is chromatin material. Chromatin material takes a particular shape when the cell division is going on. That shape is of the chromosome, and that chromosome contains the DNA, and DNA contains the genes. Okay, this is the structure of nucleus. Nucleus again is bound by a membrane which we call as nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is again a bit porous, permeable, selectively permeable, because it allows the entry of required material from the cytoplasm into the nucleus and vice versa. So this nucleus is again it is like a brain. It is like the brain of a body. Without a nucleus, the body cannot develop itself, because nucleus is something that contains all the information. Okay, that is the that is about nucleus. Moving on to organelles. This is the main part. For this part, I'll be sharing a presentation with you all. Just give me a moment.
Ma'am, also we have 23 pairs of chromosomes in our body.
23 pairs of chromosomes. What is a different pair of chromosome?
Sex chromosome, ma'am.
Why they are different and how they are different?
They determine the sex of the baby or person, ma'am.
You know about X chromosome, Y chromosome, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, here it is. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So we discuss about plant and animal cells, why they are different and what organelles are present. In this presentation, I have discussed specifically about organelles from both the cells, both the types of cells. Here, what your learning objectives will be, you should know that there are special structures within cells that are responsible for specific functions, which we call as organelles. You are able to identify each structure or different structures within a cell. Identify in the sense by their structure, by their shape, by how they look, okay? And I am able to explain each structure's function is within a cell, okay? So what is the definition of organelles? An organelle or organelles are the different structures inside a cell that each have different jobs or functions to complete within the cell. Look at the figure here. There are organelles in all the parts. This purple circle you are seeing is the entire cell, that is the cell membrane. The central part is the nucleus, and inside there is a nucleolus. And here the arrows, what they are showing, they are different organelles, which we will study in detail in the further presentation. Going ahead, the types of organelles, I have simply given the overview of cell membrane, nucleus and everything. Cell membrane is the layer of both plant and animal cells that helps keep the fluids and other organelles inside the cell. It is also a security guard. That means it only allows the useful material inside the cell and does not permit the harmful materials enter the cell. That is why also called selectively permeable membrane, correct? Okay. Then cell wall, as we discussed, it is the outer layer of plant cells that keeps everything inside the cell protected. It is made up of very strong materials that can keep anything harmful outside of the cell. Strong materials provide mechanical strength as well. Now, what is the cytoplasm? The cytoplasm is nothing but the fluid which is found in both plant and animal cells and is made up of many dissolved molecules that can be used for other purposes throughout the other processes throughout the cell. What processes we are talking about? Any process that goes on in the organelles, right? Moving on with the nucleus, as you can see, the arrows are highlighting the part we are discussing, right? Cytoplasm, the arrows are highlighting the cytoplasm. Here, the arrows will be highlighting the nucleus. It is a control center, basically a control center. And the nucleus is located near the center of the cell and contains all of the cell's chromosomes. Then what is nucleolus? It is made up of RNA. RNA is, what is the full form of RNA? Does anyone know the full form of RNA?
Nucleic acid.
Acid.
What? Could you repeat it, please?
Ribonucleic acid.
What is it?
Ribonucleic acid.
What is it? What as DNA contains the genes, what does RNA, what is the function or what is the purpose of RNA? I would want every one of you, this is like an assignment now. Go ahead and find out about RNA, get details about RNA. You know about DNA. We know the basics of DNA. I simply use the word basics because there is so much to know about DNA and RNA. What I want you to do is just find out the difference between RNA and DNA and share that. Once you have done, share that in the group. I simply want not just the full form. I want the difference in structures, different in functions, everything, the differentiation between RNA and DNA. All right, is that clear? Okay. Like we discussed, chloroplast, if you look at the figure here, it is a green colored part of the plant cell. Look at the difference in structure of plant cell and animal cell. This green color is a plant cell, this blue structure is an animal cell. In the plant cell, this green part that the arrow highlights is the chloroplast. What does it do? It usually converts light energy of the sun into sugars that can be used by cells, which is nothing but photosynthesis. It is only found in plant cells. Now look at the structure of mitochondria. Mitochondria is two layered, if you can see.
It is known as the power of the cell, ma'am.
Yes, it is the powerhouse of the cell. And if you look at it, it has two layers, the outer covering and the inner covering, which is folded. Why is it folded? Because the purpose of mitochondria is to produce energy and store it, right? To store more energy, it needs more area, more surface area. And the folds in the mitochondria will provide more area, more surface area. And hence there are folds in the mitochondria, right? And obviously this is very basic. It is known as the powerhouse of the cell because it produces energy for the cell. It performs a cellular respiration. When we talk about a respiration, it is not simply inhaling and exhaling. Respiration is the process of taking in oxygen, using that for breaking down the nutrients that we have taken during intake of food, and which we have converted into nutrients through digestion, and finally utilizing that nutrients as energy. The entire process is called respiration. And when this type of process takes place in a cell, we call it cellular respiration. And inside a cell, this cellular respiration is performed by mitochondria. Hence, it is called the powerhouse. Is that clear? Any doubts till now?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. All right. We did not discuss about Golgi apparatus. What is Golgi apparatus? It is simply the structure which is responsible for storage and transport of complex molecules. See, Golgi apparatus, what does it do? It turns combinations of molecules into new, more complex molecules and then sends them out of the cell. Sends them out of the cell means transport of those material, or stores them. Sometimes the function is to store, sometimes the function is to transport those materials. Combination of molecules into more complex molecules. Understand that what you eat is complex. Then in the process of digestion, every particle of your food is broken down and it is converted to simplest sub-objects or simplest substances. Then those simple substances through respiration are again converted into different complex substances, which will help you to perform the biological processes. Directly the food that you eat, the combination or the compounds present in your food cannot be directly used to form or to perform the biological processes. Hence, digestion comes into picture. The process of digestion gives you simple substances. Those simple substances are converted into usable complex substances or molecules, and then they are used for biological processes. Is this clear or is it complex? Clear?
Yes,
ma'am. Okay. Then these are one of the most important organelles in the cell. Smooth, that is endoplasmic reticulum, which is divided into two parts or two types. Smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum. We call it smooth ER and rough ER. An organelle attached to the nucleus that's important in the creation and storage of lipids. What are lipids? Can anyone tell me what lipids are?
It is present in lysosomes, ma'am. And
Yeah, that's okay. They are present in lysosomes or they are present anyway. But what lipids are? Lipids is a
They
word
are
used for
organic compounds, ma'am.
organic compounds, but fatty organic compounds. The
Yeah, yeah,
fats,
yeah.
the fats that you take up in your food, okay, through different food items. The fats are directly converted into lipids during digestion, and that is stored in a cell in smooth endoplasmic reticulum. If you look at the figure, this is smooth endoplasmic reticulum attached nearly to the nucleus, correct? It is found in both plants and animals and looks like a group of tubes. Then what are rough endoplasmic reticulum? It works with ribosomes. Now ribosomes are rough particles. Okay, they are rough particles which are present on the surface of ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum, and due to that particles, that presence of those particles, it is becoming rough. It is then called rough endoplasmic reticulum, which helps the synthesis and packing of proteins. So if you need to remember, smooth ER helps in storage of lipids, rough ER helps in storage and synthesis and packing of proteins. And it looks like sheets of bumpy membranes. Bumpy means rough membranes, right? If you look at this, these are rough membranes. All right. Moving on with vacuole. Vacuole, like I said, if you look at these, see, in plant cells, the vacuoles are almost taking up half of the space. Apart from the nucleus, half of the space is taken up by vacuoles. While in animal cells, it is hardly present anywhere. It is of a very comparatively very small size. Why so? A storage bubble that stores food and nutrients the cell needs to survive. Like I said, plants makes extra food for passing on to other organisms. Hence, they need more storage. That is why larger vacuoles, and so the same reason the smaller vacuoles in animal cells. Like we studied before, what ribosomes are. Ribosomes are organelles that build long chains of amino acids for the cell. What are amino acids? Does anyone know about amino acids?
Yes, ma'am.
What are they? What are amino acids?
Ma'am, they are usually known as the building blocks of proteins.
So basically, proteins, what we usually have in our body, is made up of proteins are made up of chemicals called amino acids, and ribosomes are responsible for formation of, or basically the, yeah, they are formation. They form the amino acids. They form the chains of amino acids, and hence they are known as protein builders of the cell. Now, this you might have not known, might have not read about peroxisome. If you read it, it is like lysosome that you have understood before, but lysosomes digest harmful materials, while uh, peroxisome does what? It helps to break down toxic materials and pass it on to lysosomes to digest them. See, understand. An organelle that digests nutrients, look at the figure, there are, these are peroxisomes. Sorry. What do these do? They are found in both plant and animal cells, and they have digestive enzymes in their membranes to digest nutrients like amino acids, cholesterol, and fatty acids. They digest nutrients and they break down. There is a difference between digesting and breaking down. They break down complex toxic materials while they digest the nutrients. Nutrients are getting digested in the peroxisomes and they are sent directly into the bloodstreams. While the toxic materials are getting broken down in peroxisomes and they are sent into lysosomes, and they digest uh, the toxic material and they kill them. Understand that lysosomes are only found in animal cells. Do you see the lysosomes? Here, the lysosomes are found only in animal cells.
They are also known as suicide bags.
They are known as suicidal bags. Why are they called suicidal bags?
Ma'am, because they contain some harmful acids, ma'am, which can burst the whole cell.
Uh, okay, we cannot say that they contain harmful acids. One thing, they perform their function if there is an entry of a harmful or a toxic material in the cell. There is a chance that that toxic material will damage the entire cell. But what does
Yes,
lysosome do is it absorbs that toxic materials and it kills itself.
yes,
The
ma'am.
lysosome will take up that material inside itself and it will damage only the lysosome. This is how it will protect the other parts of the cell only by killing itself. So it is basically a protector. By killing itself, it is protecting the remaining part of the cell. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Again, you might not have known about microtubules. They are there to provide structure to the cell and also helps with cell division. They are again only found in animal cells. Centrioles are again they help the division during the cell division, mitosis and meiosis. Do you know of mitosis and meiosis? What is mitosis? What is meiosis? Does anyone know?
Not sure about it.
Okay. See, you know about cell division? You know what cell division is?
Yes, ma'am.
Cells divide to grow, correct? To repair the damage wherever the damage is. For reproduction, also, the cells have to divide. When the cells divide within the body for different functions like growth, repair work, yeah, or for layering a particular organ, that is called mitosis, where reproductive cells are not involved. It is called mitosis. While in meiosis, reproductive cells are involved. When the you understand the process of reproduction, right? When you've learned about it, meiosis occurs when the sex cells, the reproductive cells divide, and they divide into two parts where two chromosomes are separated. Like you said, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. So I am now saying that 22 pairs of chromosomes are identical in both males and females, while the 23rd pair is the decisive pair which decides the gender of the baby that is going to be born. I'm talking about humans here, okay? So in the 23rd pair, when the cell division occurs, in the cell containing the 23rd pair, that is the sperm cell or the ovum, that division, when it occurs, the chromosomes get separated in half. In other mitosis, in other normal division, the chromosomes get separated in half, but they immediately get back to their original numbers by division. But here in meiosis, they only get divided into half, and they get transferred into the female body, and there they meet their other half, that is from the ovum. When the sperm cell enters the female body, it meets the ovum cell, which is half, and there they complete their pair, which is the 23rd pair of chromosomes. And which chromosome goes and meets the ovum decides the gender. If it is X chromosome, then it will be XX, the pair will be X and X, which will form a female baby. And if the pair is X and Y, it will form a male baby. When we go ahead with other parts, we will understand about the reproductive process in humans in very much detail. But this is simply the basics of mitosis and meiosis that I explained. Is this clear or is it confusing? Yes, everyone? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear or confusing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because it is simply the basic. We will go into the details when we understand about reproduction. Okay. But just remember that centrioles of the cells help during the cell division. Okay. So yeah, that's about the cell organelles. I think I have covered each cell organelles in detail. If you have any questions, any queries regarding the same, please go ahead and ask me. I have already given you the assignment. I have asked you to get the differentiation between RNA and DNA along with their full form, their location in cells, their functions, and how they are different from each other structurally. Understood the assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you have any queries, please go ahead. Any questions? Yeah. Any questions, everyone?
No questions from my side.
All right. So I'll just give a brief message in the group what you have to do as an assignment, and I will share some random questions from the topics that we have covered so that you can be, equipped with the answers easily. Is that clear? Once you find out the differentiation between RNA and DNA, you will be sharing it in the group. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right then. I hope you enjoyed the session. We will move ahead with
Yes, really, ma'am.
other topics soon in the next session. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, I think the session is over now.
Yeah, okay, madam. Thank you.